Hey, everybody, this is Munson Steed. And of course, education is key. So, having access to those individuals who provide leadership, insight, and are able to direct us in the vision that they have for our families, for our futures, for our careers, and even more. So, when you think about this, we're thinking of a phenomenal Dr. George Lewis. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing? Glad to be here. Thank you.
You're doing a bang up job when you think about the vision that you're sharing with a tagline like "Bring Brilliance." What is it that you want to children to know and be motivated to understand about attending Atlanta Metropolitan State College?
Yeah, thank you for mentioning Bring Your Brilliance. And so when we talk about Bring Your Brilliance at Atlanta Metropolitan State College, it means three things. It's an invitation. We're an access college in Atlanta, so we look at the potential in our students. And so it's an invitation, it's open access, so we really encourage students to think of us in moving forward to the future. But it's also a challenge, and that we want students to know that it's going to be challenging, but we're here to support them. And then the third thing, it's a declaration. You know, many of our students haven't been told they're brilliant, and we think there's brilliance in each and every one of them. And so when I look at our student population and the impact that we can have on our students, our faculty, and our staff are really focused on their success. So when we say bring your brilliance, our expectation for them is to be just that. And so it's an exciting place to be with a great group of people, and I'm just honored to have the opportunity to lead.
When you think about parents thinking about where they should definitely in COVID enroll their children, and what would you suggest that they do in considering Atlanta Metropolitan State College?
Well, specifically here, well, what I will tell you, and I don't want to jinx us, but our track record is pretty good as it relates to COVID-19 for several reasons. Number one, we adhere to all the CDC guidelines, but we offer classes in a way that gives students an opportunity to be face to face, but also the courses are offered in a hybrid way. And so one day you might be on campus, and the other day you're taking the course online. And so that methodology allows students to get the most out of the experience while also being safe. It's a commuter campus, and so we don't have some of the challenges that some other colleges and universities may have in managing the virus. But our folks are focused on it. We engage in a way that is safe. Classes are offered in a way that's safe, as well as in a way that will help them progress from an educational perspective. Many of our students do best face to face, and so the hybrid environment gives us an opportunity to be safe, but also put them in an environment that will really promote success.
So, when you think about 4 years of education, what would you counsel a parent about their decision as it relates to majors for the future, and how Atlanta Metropolitan State College can really be a benefit for those who want to commute?
I would counsel parents to, oftentimes some parents want their son or daughter or their student to perhaps be something that the student might not be thinking about. So first, I would encourage them to allow the student to look at different options, look at different degrees, think about what they're good at and what they like to do, because they're going to be doing this thing for the rest of their life. So I would really encourage them to do those things. Particularly Atlanta Metropolitan State College, you know, we offer a career-focused associates and bachelor's degrees, and so we have 5 undergraduate bachelor's degrees, and then we have 2 associates. And our degrees really prepare students to go directly into the workforce. So there's the benefit of the liberal arts education, but they're in the areas that that are hot right now. And so we have digital media, we have business, biological sciences. There's a organizational leadership, as well as criminal justice. And so these are programs that that your investment is going to pay off. If you finish, your investment is going to pay off. And so when I think about, Atlanta Metropolitan State College, our student population, the average adjusted gross income is about $17,000 a year for a family to come to Atlanta Metropolitan State College. So when you graduate, our vision is to transform students, their families, and the communities for generations to come. So when that first person gets that degree, and it's not just them getting the degree, but their family sees it, their friends see it, has an impact on the community, and it makes those who are around them understand that they can do the same thing. And the earning potential and the way you live, there's so much data around the benefits of a college degree. My degree's in accounting, and I'm not an accountant, but I have one of the best jobs that anybody could have right now. And so the fact of having a bachelor's degree gives our students that opportunity. So that's why it's so exciting. When you think about our population and the change and the impact, I wouldn't want to do anything else.
But you also shared that there are associate degrees.
Yes.
How would you describe the maturity, the opportunity to stepstone education, the value of acquiring an associate and then moving to a college degree?
Yeah. Our degrees are stackable, meaning students that come into the associate programs, they're set up to go on to the four-year program. And when many of our students work, most students across the country work, and so we have lots who come back who have been out of high school for several years, and so our environment caters to traditional and non-traditional students. Those who want to work part-time, work as well as go to school part-time. We have a program that's set up for them where they can work at their pace, get that associate's degree, and so you've already completed something, and that creates opportunity. And then when you get to the next level, it just creates that much more opportunity. But individuals can do it while they are working. It's affordable. As a state college, students can come to school here for a year of tuition and fees for about $4,000. So it is, and so when you think of financial aid and scholarships, most of our students are on some type of financial aid, and so it puts them in a position to really, the return on their investment is high. So for a student who wants to stay 4 years and graduate, they go into their career, and we do have some. I mentioned we have 5 bachelor's degrees, but there are some students that it's the best decision for them to stay close to home the first couple of years, and then perhaps transition to an institution that has a major that we may not have. And so we're also a great place for individuals to start, get a good quality foundation through our general education courses that prepares them for whatever the next school or the next degree that they're working on. So we want them to stay 4 years. However, we understand that we don't have all the programs. And so it does give us an opportunity to have an impact on students that way that helps prepare them for their next step.
Well, I love that because many students are maturing while they're going through the process. So,
yeah.
I think that for all those students who are given the opportunity to be in a place where they can both work, learn themselves, and have a pace that they can achieve a degree and then stack it. I think that will allow them to kind of get the taste. You may not have been certain. Will you share your vision on, for those not just parents, but students, how you should approach learning today and what kind of tools are necessary for the students? Computer, laptop, what is necessary to really understand in this upcoming semester, should they consider it, that they need to know this is what you're going to need in order to move through here.
What we want students to have is a desire to learn and set goals. You specifically mentioned laptops. We're going through this. All of us are dealing with COVID right now, and so connectivity to the internet and having the right kind of resources that will assist you in learning, they're important. And so we have a laptop loaner program that if a student does not have a laptop, there's a way that our students can come and loan a laptop and can use it for their studies. We've also increased the bandwidth. So if you're, for Wi-Fi purposes, so if you're a student who's in between class and you're concerned about those type of things, the technology, our technological, what we have invested is really to support students so that they're not inconvenienced as a result of what they're dealing with right now with COVID-19. It's challenging for everybody, but we try to minimize any of those barriers. So laptops are available for students. Our infrastructure has improved to a point where we can serve from a different perspective, not just students, but faculty and staff. Sometimes our faculty and staff are teaching their courses from wherever they're at. And to do that, we have to make sure their equipment is appropriate and they have everything together as well. So, really what a student needs, they need to have an understanding that it's going to be challenging. You're going to have to create a schedule, but if they have the desire to learn and they want to come to school and get a degree, we have financial aid that's available. It's affordable if you don't choose to use financial aid. If you don't have technology, we can support you with the technology. Even if you're somebody who's been out of school for a few years and is concerned about basic math or English, we can take you through a process to determine the level of support that you might need. We have departments that can help our students with tutoring, and we have academic coaches. Nowadays, we're not successful unless students aren't. So we have to put resources in place to help students be successful. And so that's what we do. And so what we need is students that want to be here, have a desire to learn, be willing to work, and it's our job to reduce barriers and provide the kind of tools that can help them be successful.
For many community leaders, they're really working to figure out how to get young people on the proper path. For those faith leaders, community leaders, how can they engage and encourage? Do you have, like a college visit program for those young people that really have never been there? Because you think about that, that's one of the things that can help you feel the capacity to live at home, go to school.
Well, I will speak of what we're doing in the now. And so this is the COVID period. And so we're having campus drive-ins where we're actually having our faculty and staff set up at a certain place outside where people in the community can come to learn about Atlanta Metropolitan State College. Step two, we're actually taking the show on the road. There's high schools in the area that are setting up opportunities for us to be there. And so they're inviting their students so we can be in an environment that is safe, but we're providing them with information about the college. We have, of course, our website, www.atlm.edu. We actually have there should be a link where you can just ask a question and somebody will answer your question, sometimes immediately. And it's manned by a live person. We're in the age of bots and all those kind of things where you get a response from a computer. But between our normal business hours, it's an actual person, and that actual person also checks that email message on the weekends and sometimes evenings as well. So we try to in various forms to be able to provide people with information. So we go out, we invite them in. There's a website, we have a chat function. So all those ways are the ways in which we would encourage students and parents and families to learn about us. We still do have visits, and that will really kick into place once we get through the period that we're in right now. But the campus is open, and so individuals are able to visit on campus. We just ask that everybody wears a mask and that you follow all of the guidelines. So we're open. We've been here throughout most of the pandemic. When we came back to school, we had a special plan in place for both semesters as to how we're to conduct business. So we are ready to receive students, we're ready to serve, and we're ready to work with everybody in the community.
It really sounds exciting. I'm not sure that I can go back to college yet.
You can come back
to do it again, but it really, the effort that you're making to create a home and a tradition of brilliance is what I really love. That the outreach, the reduction of excuses, and the support to achieve your dreams at Atlanta Metropolitan State College. So for those who are going to listen to your graduation speech, since you probably won't have anybody speaking, when they're setting goals, how should young people approach setting goals as it relates to college?
You know, I would encourage, and this is, advice that I would give anyone, whether it's college or another part of their life or career, is think about it with the end in mind. Meaning, if my goal is to graduate, think about that as your goal, and what are those things that I need to do in order to get there. Similar to even if you're a high school student and it's your goal to be a college president, what are the things that I would need to do in order to get there? So my advice is, to think of it with the end in mind. And I didn't create that. That's from Stephen Covey. He's a leadership guy, and so
Seven
yes.
habits of highly effective people.
Yes.
But I love your effective and community groups that you support. So can you give me an idea about Upward Bound and literally a year up? Those are programs that are definitely available. And can you share that with me?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Year Up is it's an awesome group. We have a new partnership with them that started in the fall. We have about there's more than 100 students on campus right now who are connected to Year Up. Year Up is an intensive program where students take 15 to 16 hours a semester here, and so they're heavily involved in our certificate programs. Whether that certificate is on customer service, it could be something IT related. And so students go to school one semester, 15, 16 hours. The next term they do a internship. They will receive their certificate, but then as we mentioned earlier, that program is also stackable, that it transitions directly into our associate and our bachelor's program. Students that are in Year Up are highly successful. They have mentors and coaches and people in the corporate community who support them as well. So it's really a program that is created with the end in mind, and the end in mind is for them to have a high-paying career, and so that's the path in which they start. You mentioned some of the TRIO programs as well, Upward Bound and Talent Search and Student Support Services. Those are all federal programs that are housed on our campus. Again, those are great opportunities for Atlanta Metropolitan State College students to have some additional assistance and support, networking. Students are learning in groups and they come into cohorts. So they go through our major programs, but also they experience some things that perhaps they wouldn't otherwise. Whether it's visits to other colleges, if they're thinking about graduate school, they have tutors and mentors, and again, it's all connected to what our ultimate goal is to help our students be successful. We have a strategic plan, and goal number one is student success. And so if I'm being redundant, it's because it's on purpose, because if they're not successful, then we're not.
Tuskegee Airmen Camp. Tell me about this camp. Everybody wants to be a part.
Tuskegee Airmen Camp. Now so I don't want to, so I want to perhaps I'll claim the new card right now, and so I'm relatively new, and that's one that I'm not as familiar with right now. Is it a summer camp that you're referring to?
Yeah.
Yes, they meet on our campus for a 1 week summer camp every year,
Super, super.
ran by the Tuskegee Airmen.
Excellent. The dual enrollment. Can you share dual enrollment with me?
Yeah, we dual enrollment is an opportunity for our high school students in the area. Many of them come from the Atlanta public schools. Many of them take classes on our campus. Of course, that is virtual now. The benefit of dual enrollment is it's almost free to students who do engage in the program. And so our young people are bright. So this gives an opportunity. I want to say it starts 10th grade, 10 through 12. They can take classes on campus, earn college credit, and it's at a severely reduced price to almost free. And actually, we have some help to support. So students typically don't even pay for books for that program. In the past, we've had high school students graduate with associate degrees prior to at the same time that they graduate from high school. And so that severely cuts the cost for students. And I'm using severe as a positive term here, but it really cuts the cost for our students and their families. And it gives them an opportunity to graduate early, or to perhaps lighten their load along the way towards graduation. And many have that part of their plan is, they're planning on going to graduate and professional school. So if you can get 2 years out of the way early, it's a smart thing to do. So it's a great opportunity. That's it's a big program for us. We have a couple hundred students each semester who are in dual enrollment. We offer those opportunities to our high schools all the time. So it's great opportunity. I would encourage parents and students, if they're prepared, to really think about dual enrollment and how it can have an impact on their future. So I am a strong supporter of that program.
Well, we are almost out of time, but I want to ask you, share your vision on just being able to know the value of a college education.
My vision, and it comes from personal experience, being a college student, but it also comes from the lives of people that I have interacted with to see the positive outcomes for them. And so, the Atlanta Metropolitan State College is a perfect place for me, because I really believe that, yes, there's lots of ways that people can reach their goals, but the best way, to me, I feel, is a 4-year degree. And at Atlanta Metropolitan State College, we think about students' potential. It is an access college. It fits right along with my values of education, and I really hold education high on the list of values. And so, we want to have an impact on our community here in Atlanta. Most of our students are from Georgia. Probably more than 90% of them are from the metro area. The impact that we can have for students in a growing city that has several employers who are looking for talent, for us to be one of the places that can provide that, that talent, so students can live better and families can live better. It is just a great opportunity. And so my vision is creating the opportunity for students and families to really change their family, change their communities for generations. And whenever the first person crosses the stage, that family is not the same, and you see the benefits that are reaped after that. So it's a awesome opportunity. responsibility, and I'm really lucky and fortunate and honored to be the person who is leading such a great group of people.
You're doing an excellent job. We thank you, Dr. Georj Lewis. You've got quite a vision. I think the empathy and approach that you have for education is key. Wherever the community is, you're meeting them there and giving them something that clearly, as it relates to a skill set and a community that is circling them with support, so they're not alone as they walk through and matriculate. So I want to thank you for coming on Rolling Out.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. And see you real soon, you and the entire team. But anytime that we can support, let us know. I really love the dual degree program for the young people. And I do believe that most people should consider stacking their progress as they move to education and higher education for sure. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, sir.